Right, new information on our investigation into security cameras at one local naval base. We showed you this video taken by cameras at Little Creek. The FBI says it shows the car of college student Ashanti Billy. She was reported missing and was last seen at Little Creek. She would eventually turn up dead in Charlotte, North Carolina. Authorities released the video in hopes of getting information about Ashanti's disappearance, but many of you could not believe the poor quality of the video. Investigative reporter Laura Geller has learned one local congressman is now pushing for upgrades.
As part of our original investigation, we contacted the Navy with questions and got few answers. We also called Congressman Scott Taylor, whose district includes Joint Expeditionary Base Little Creek. The search for answers continues from there. A local congressman with the same concerns about this video as our viewers, his constituents.
My first reaction was I thought that they were grainy. They weren't, the quality wasn't that good, of course.
Representative Scott Taylor's office sent a letter to the Navy asking if it has adequate security when the cameras were put in place, what cameras are there, and why is this video so grainy?
Obviously, in today's world, you can get a lot better technology and better quality.
The response? When the equipment was installed, it met the standards of the time, an answer Taylor calls purposefully vague. But now we've learned the Navy will give Taylor a briefing to walk him through what's there, how it works, and what the gaps may be.
They don't publicly want to have their totality of security and what their security, how it's integrated and all those things public, and I understand that.
A lot of people talked to us and said, you know, these are my tax dollars at work. And I have a right to know how they're being spent. And then on the other side, people said, well, of course the Navy isn't going to tell you what kind of cameras it has. Thinking about that balance, how do you reassure the public that somebody is checking to make sure that that area is safe, that they have the right equipment?
There is a balance. There's no question about that. And it's up to someone like myself, who is a representative of the people, to be the go-between.
The congressman is familiar with the base, as some of his time as a Navy SEAL was spent there. He also now sits on the Military Construction Appropriations Subcommittee in Congress. The position could hold influence in addressing budget cuts that may have led to the lack of upgrades and now prioritizing limited resources.
What's ironic, of course, as technology has gotten better and better, it's also gotten cheaper. So there is potential to get those upgrades, and that's something, once I get the totality of the whole picture, we'll be able to take the next steps.
How do you guarantee that this is something that is going to be addressed?
Well, we will do our part to make sure that the military has adequate funding to be able to upgrade their security when's necessary. And then it's up to me and you, which you're doing your job as well too, in informing the public that those things are taking place and that you're following up on the story. And I applaud this station for continuing to follow up on the station to keep the public abreast of what's going on to make sure that they have adequate security.
That Navy briefing is expected next month. Taylor says they'll not only talk about Little Creek, but the situation on all bases to see what needs to be done and how much it would cost. Laura Geller, 13 News Now.